Hi, this is John from Proper Coils, and today we're having a look at the AIO box from Cthulhu. So here we have the Cthulhu AIO box. I just want to say thanks to Daredevil over on Instagram for sending this on for review. I'll stick his Instagram tag here on the bottom. Make sure you go over and give him a follow. So in the box here we have Cthulhu AIO box, and we have the color, which is blue, and you have the Cthulhu logo. On the back here we have 91% high efficiency 60 watt regulated chip, which does wattage, voltage, temp control, and bypass modes. Here we have made with aviation aluminium alloy, so it's a lightweight device, compatible with a Boro tank, which is obviously very important. One of the most compact and light 18650 Boro devices. Now I have got a SXK billet box for comparison, so I'll show you size-wise how that compares when I take it out of the box. The tank it comes with is compatible with a Boro device, other Boro devices and billet boxes, which is good too. And it comes with an LED light which you can turn on and off, so I'll explain that when we look at the board. And then you have your usual bits and bobs here on the bottom. And sorry, the color we have is Pacific blue. It comes in several different colors. I'm going to throw them up on the screen now. And we will open her up. So the contents of the box, we'll zoom in a little bit. So we have the user manual. We have our Type-C charging cable. We have a little baggie with screws and O-rings and post screws. We have the mod, which I'll look at in a sec. On the side here, we have some airflow adapters. So these come in 0.8, 1.2, 1.6, and 2 mil. And then without any airflow inserts, it is a 2.5 mil airflow draw. On the top here, we have an adapter for Nautilus coils, so you can just slot this into the Boro tank and then push your, screw your Nautilus coils into this, and it will operate Nautilus coils, which is good because they're popular from out to lung. And then here you have your 510 adapter, so that it will be for burning your coils, so we'll be put that to a side, we'll use that. That is everything in the box. So take a look at the device. So on the top here you have your 510. Now this is all in one piece, so it comes with the screw piece attached. So it's 316 stainless steel. On the front here you have your airflow. So your airflow comes in two ways. So it's coming in from the bottom. Comes in from the bottom opening here up to your coil, and also comes in from the front. So in my opinion, it gives more airflow than you get with a billet box, with a regular billet box or an SXK billet box. We'll zoom it out and we'll have a look at a size comparison between the SXK. So this is the SXK billet box, and you can see that it's slightly shorter, and it's also slightly skinnier from the side, and then from this side it's more or less the same. So definitely a smaller device than the SXK billet box, which will be the same size as your regular billet box. So if we take this panel off, you'll see your branding. So you have AIO here and your CE mark, don't vape in a bin, and your Cthulhu. And you have your tank here. So to take your tank out, just unscrew your nut or 510 at the top, and she will pop out. We'll take a look at that in a sec. So the rest of the device, now this is, it will take a Boro device, so any Boro or billet box compatible tank will fit in here, which is very good. On this side, you have your battery compartment. And I'll grab a battery. You have your little tag here. So it is minus up. There we go. And there is your screen. So this is a 60-watt device. So to change your modes, you hit the fire button 3 times. And P stands for flashing. So P for power is watts. Hit your right button and it goes to voltage. Hit it again, bypass. Then you're into your temp control. So nickel, stainless steel, titanium, TCR, and then back to wattage, and then hit whichever mode you want, hit the fire button and it'll stay there. To turn off the LED, hold these 2 lights, or hold these 2 buttons even, and that means your LED is off, and to put it back on again, that is your LED back on. And to go to stealth mode, you hit the fire button and the left button. And that is in stealth mode. And again, to put it back on, you're back. So it is 1 watt increments and it does not round robin. So it moves up and down fairly quick, which is good. Then the smallest amount of wattage is 5 watts. You hold the 2 bottom buttons together, nothing happens. And that is your LED on. So fire button and right button for your LED light on. That is the board, fairly basic. It's fairly basic, but it does what you want. It has your bypass, your temp control, and your voltage also. So that's basically it. Aluminium, very light. There's a big difference weight-wise between these two. You can feel even with a battery in this is feeling lighter than the bit of box that hasn't got a battery in it. And we'll take a look at the tank. So here's your tank that it comes with. So the tank they give you, or the bridge they give you, is made really for a mouth to lung setup. Now, in my previous review, you would have seen, or hopefully you would have seen, that it was the 520 bridge from Cthulhu. That's very much a direct lung or a restricted direct lung bridge. The one that comes with this is definitely more suited for a mouth to lung setup. So we're going to be putting a mouth to lung coil in this when we do our build. So here is your deck. So it just pops off, similar to the 520 bridge or tank. It just pops off. It's got press fit O-rings, and there is your fairly basic deck. Now the way the air pins work is this pops out. That's where your air goes, and this piece pops out. And what you do is you get your air pins. We're going to stick the 0.8 for the tightest mouth to lung draw, and this just screws into your little base here. Go. And there is your 0.8 hole, and that's where it's going to be hitting the coil. And this plastic piece I'm not a massive fan of, to be honest with you. I haven't really been using it. My fear with this is that when you're taking in and out your battery or playing around with the tank, that you're going to move this and you're going to adjust your airflow when you don't want it. So I've been just run this without it on, because I feel like once you find the appropriate air pin, you're not going to want to adjust the airflow anyway. So that's what I've been doing. So this pops straight into here. Again, press fit in, and that is your 0.8 for your mouth to lung setup. To burn your coil in and get set up, you need your 510 adapter. So we're going to stick this on a mod. So before we do the build, I'm just going to run through the rest of the tank. So the tank capacity is 6 mil, and your tank is just press fit in. There's no screwing, there's no treads. It's press fit in. This piece will just press fit onto your deck. And yeah, push your base on then once you have your coils set up. To fill, you have your little grommet here. Just flick that out and fill your tank. This, although a lot of people don't like grommets, this is a far better system than the original Boro tanks for the billet boxes, because they used to have a glass, they used to have to push down, and then there used to be O-rings around here, and they used to be a pain because they'd keep popping off or they'd break and stuff. So for me, this is a much better system for filling your tank. So look, plenty of, for a mouth to lung setup, this is it's a huge capacity. 6 mil lasts you a long time. That is your tank. So let's throw a coil in this. We're going to be putting in a mouth to lung fused Clapton from Proper Coils, of course. So this is 2 cores of 30 gauge Cantal wrapped in 38 gauge Cantal, and it should ohm around 0.8 depending on your leg length, and it is 2.5 mil inner diameter. And here's the coils. So let's pop a coil in this. So that's the AIO box from Cthulhu, all coiled up, wicked up, and juiced up. Let's bring it back up top, and I'll give you my pros and cons. So we're back up top with the AIO box from Cthulhu, and we are vaping at 18 watts, and the mouth to lung fuse Clapton is sitting at 0.79. Let's give it a vape. That is with the 0.8 insert in. It's a proper mouth to lung, tight mouth to lung. It's for people that like that real tight mouth to lung vape, the 0.8 is the way to go, definitely. So we start with the cons. Actually, before I get into the cons, I made a mistake on the down low. The drip tip does actually come off. I thought it was one piece. And if it was one piece, that would have been a con, because it didn't come with a nut, but it actually does come in a nut, because you can take the drip tip off. So there you go. So you can put in your own 510s, whether you're changing from out to lung or direct lung. So cons wise, I have 2 cons, and first con is going to be durability. Because it's so light and because the metal is so thin, it's a bit of a pro and a con, I suppose. So it's a con because it's probably not going to be as durable as something like the SXK, where the doors are thicker and everything's a bit more sturdy. But on the pro side, then it's going to be it's going to be a lot lighter, and it is a lot smaller. So it's still a con, and it's still a pro. So it's a bit of both, I suppose. The only other con I really have for this is the fact that, and it's probably because I'm used to using the billet box, is that the airflow, the position of the airflow. So on the billet box, you have your airflow on the side, and on this, you have the airflow front. So I have a habit of covering the airflow with my fingers. So I hold it like this. I think that this is the way most people will hold it, because you're hitting the button with your thumb and then you're vaping. So I sort of have to get used to holding it a bit looser with my middle finger and leaving a bit of a gap when I'm vaping. So it's something I just need to get used to. If someone is using this as their first billet box device or Boro device, it's probably not going to be an issue. But for me, it's just habit that I keep sort of covering the airflow with my middle finger. Onto the pros then, obviously the weight, the size of it and the weight of it. It's small, it's light, so that's obviously going to be a pro. It's clean looking, so there's no branding. The only real branding you have is on the inside. So you have your AIO, and that's covered by doors, so it's a nice clean looking device. The little MTL bridge it comes with is very, if you're getting this from out along, the MTL bridge it comes with is very good, and I have no complaints. It's a tight deck. You're gonna have to use like very small fuse Claptons, like I showed you on the down low, or like a small Clapton. But a very good mouth along. And if you're looking for a direct lung or restricted direct lung bridge for this, the 520, which I reviewed, my previous video I reviewed, is one of the best bridges I've ever used for restricted direct lung or direct lung. So I'd recommend, if you're buying this, buy the 520 bridge with it as well, if you're going to be using this in direct lung mode or restricted direct lung mode, because the 520 is superb. The fact that it's a Boro device, it's going to be customizable. So different companies, or even maybe Cthulhu, are going to come out with different doors. There might be wraps for the inside, so stickers for the insides. So change the buttons, I'm sure, that sort of thing. I looked on the website today, the Cthulhu's website, and there is different doors, different buttons, and other companies are going to do the same. So customizability, if that's the word, is definitely going to be a pro. The price compared to obviously a proper billet box, the original billet box, they're going, I don't know what they're going for, 300-400 quid. These are going for around £79 or about €90. So it's obviously a very affordable device. And if it's someone new to the Boro devices, new to Boro device in general, it's definitely a good pickup if don't want to spend 300-400 quid on a billet box, and then maybe you're not sure you're going to like a billet box and you don't want to spend that much money. It's a good option. The chip it comes with is very good. I'd have no issues with it. It's got all you need. It has temp control, it has voltage mode, your watts, your curves, all that stuff. So the chip is very good. No issues with it. It obviously only goes to 60 watts. If you're using a mount-along build, it's not going to be an issue. If you're using a direct lung build, you probably want to build a bit higher, so around the 0.5, 0.4. I wouldn't really be going any lower than that, because you don't want your wattage to be going like 50, 60 watts. Otherwise, your battery's not going to last, especially the fact that it's not a 21700, it's a 18650. So I'd say build appropriately for a 60 watt chip. I think the fact that it's so small, so these two devices are 18650. It's a good bit smaller than the SXK Billet box, so there is a bit of room there. So I think in the future, I'm presuming maybe in the future that they're going to release a 21700 version, and if they do, it might actually not be much bigger than the SXK Billet box, which I think would be pretty cool. So if they ever release that, I'd definitely pick up one of those. For that extra little bit of battery life. It's not going to be much bigger than this, so that'll be a win. So I'm hoping they'll release a 21700 version. So that's all the pros and cons. Overall, I just think it's a very good device for people new to the Boro game that don't want to spend a massive amount of money. It's very well built. It looks very good. For me, I would like it was a bit heavier, because I'm just used to a bit of a heavier Boro device. But overall, very good device. The 520 bridge, if you're looking for restricted direct lung or direct lung, just get that because it's amazing. And the little bridge that it comes with from out to lung is also very good. So overall, very good device, and go get it if you're looking for a cheaper way into the Boro market. So that was the review of the AIO from Cthulhu. If you like the review or like the reviews in general, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell. If you're looking for any handmade coils, make sure you head over to propercoils.com. I hope you enjoyed the review. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.